Logan here with hypehustle.com. Tomorrow evening is one of the busiest nights to drive Uber. Taking people out and picking up drunk people is usually one of the busiest times on the weekends, and tomorrow evening is just a huger percentage of that. There's a lot more people going out, and there'll be a lot more people that will need rides. This is going to be my fourth year actually doing New Year's, and the last couple years I've done 6 to maybe 10 hours there a couple times, and I usually average from about 400 to 500 is what I've came to. And it's, for me, I drive usually on the weekend, so it's a lot like that, but there's a few things that you might need to get used to, or if you haven't driven on the weekend, you might be able to be prepared for that. And I have about 4 tips I'm going to go over here, and that could help you to get at least that, if not more, because I definitely have heard of people making a lot more than what I have. First tip I would say is just being alert. One thing, driving on the weekends, and as I go through this, if you drive on the weekends, you're probably just going to nod and agree with everything that I say, but driving on the weekends or driving during this time is, you just have to be alert of other people on the road. You have to be very cautious. There is a high chance of there being drunk drivers on the road. I see it on the weekends. I see drunk drivers all the time. I see accidents, and I've actually been hit by a drunk driver and hit and run while driving Uber. So it is one thing, you just have to be very cautious of what's going on, of your surroundings, especially if you have someone in your car, as well as you don't want to be in an accident and have to deal with that and, not be making money that night because you were in an accident. So the first thing is just be alert, take care of your body, be well rested, get caffeine if you need to in your system, or bring it with you. I sometimes do bring an energy drink, or if I need it, I feel like I'm going to be drowsy. Whatever it is, just be alert of what's going on. Second is just be prepared to have drunk people in your car. The second half of the night, of course, is going to be taking drunk people home. You're going to start the night, I'm probably going to start the night out 5, 6, 7 o'clock and go all the way to until, 3, 4, possibly 5 o'clock in the morning. It goes late. You're going to have a lot of people getting rides that late. But in that second half, you're going to be picking up drunk people. And if you haven't driven on the weekend, you may not be prepared for that. There's a few amenities that I like to keep in my car that will prepare you for having someone drunk in your vehicle. The first one's going to be, of course, a throw-up bag. I'm going to leave links for these in the bottom. I know this video is a little late, so you may not be able to order them. I'll try to get things that are on Prime now. If not, there's different ways you can do. Like, for example, the throw-up bags, you can use grocery bags as long as they're in good standing condition, don't have holes and stuff like that. Those will work. But throw-up bags, all-weather floor mats, like the rubber type ones. This car that I have actually came with them. Not all cars do. A lot of cars come with the cloth ones, but you can go to Ross and get them for real cheap, or even at Walmart. I really do suggest getting those, because I've actually had incidents where I've had people throw up in my vehicle, and it only got on that, and I was able to clean it off with some water and some soap that night, get the actual deposit, the $500 deposit, because they made a mess in my vehicle with the pictures I sent to Uber, and continue to be able to drive for the rest of the night. So those are huge, as well as, people are, depending where you're at, snowy, muddy, you're just gonna have people tracking stuff into your vehicle, making it a mess that you had cleaned prior to that day for having people in there. Another one is some type of wipe. I always carry like a microfiber towel in the front. I always carry those as well, just to wipe off my car throughout the day if I'm driving. But I have one in the car, as well as I like to have some wet wipes or napkins. Personally, I like the wet wipes. They work in case, someone does throw up, or, someone just needs them, makes a mess. You can wipe off your seats, whatever it is. So wet wipes. And then, of course, you need chargers. I feel like drunk people always need to charge their phone. So I have a 4 plug-in charger in the front that I reach to the back of my car, as well as my car actually comes with a regular house plug-in in the back people can use. But that's huge. Being able to let people charge all of their phones, having multiple cords and plugins as well, is huge. And then people are going to want to listen to music. So my car is Bluetooth. I don't have an aux cord in my car, but having an aux cord is definitely will help, as well as, if you let people have a playlist available or other things available for people to listen to music. And then this last one's kind of optional. I don't use it, but having a dash cam just in case something does happen. But for me, I've been doing this for over 4 years. I believe about 7,000 trips or so. and I have not had issues. I mean, drunk people for the most part, if you're polite to them and stuff, will end up falling asleep and you just have to wake them up, or they usually wake up with the light. It's not that big of a thing. I feel like there has been issues and everyone gets scared of that, but for the most part, those are far and in between. So that's it, having amenities and being ready to deal with someone that is drunk. And then the third is you need to know your market, know where to be at what time. Go ahead and research what events are going on tomorrow evening, when they start, when they end, so you know when you're going to be taking people there and when you need to be at certain spots. I know in my market, there's no quest, there is no incentives for people to get out to drive. So that's actually going to be beneficial if you're out driving, because the surge will be higher. There'll be less people on the road. So if you time it and go to the right spots, have it turned off, and go wait until a surge picks up and go pick up people, you'll be able to hit a higher surge in those areas because you were at the right spot at the right time. And even just being, at a bar or club that is getting off and people are going to be needing rides, that's going to be perfect for you. As well as, for the most part, on tomorrow night, before midnight, it's going to be like a regular weekend. It's going to be busy. People are going out like a regular weekend. But once it's after 12, after the ball drops, after 12, wherever you're at, it's going to get a lot busier. It's going to be, I believe it's almost like 60% more rides are needed on New Year's. So it is going to be a lot busier once that happens. That 12 to 3 to 4, depending on where you're at. In SoCal, there's been places, in LA, in SoCal, there's been times where I've gone until 5 o'clock on New Year's. So depending where you're at, that's when it gets real busy, is that 12 until 3, 4, usually dies off around 3, I would say, but it sometimes drives until 4 or 5, depending on where you're at, what's going on, how many drivers are at. And there is no incentive here, and I assume it's like that in most markets, so I know it's going to be like that everywhere else. And the last thing is just be courteous. Be polite to everyone that gets in your vehicle. Don't expect tips. That's one thing that drives me crazy that I always see people is to expect tips. Like, tips are nice and they're great, and if you do a good service, you'll get them. But to expect them and push them upon people is ridiculous. So someone gets in your car, greet them. How are you? How was your night? Things like that. If you can tell they don't want to talk, then don't talk to them. If they, just leave them alone. If they want to have a conversation with them. Don't butt in if they're having conversations with other people. And get along with people. Just have a great night and enjoy it yourself as well. It's going to be New Year's. Have fun. That's one thing, is driving is easy job. You're out driving people around. You're in your vehicle making a good, decent amount of money on a night like this. It's a fun thing to do. So enjoy your night. Be polite. Be happy. Positivity will go over to other people in your vehicle. And besides that, those 4 things are going to be some of the keys to just driving in general. I feel like actually help on the weekends and especially on New Year's. So the first thing, again, is just be alert. And then second, be prepared. Third, know your market, know where you need to be. And the last one is just be a great person in general. Just be, customer service. And hopefully these tips will help you driving tomorrow evening, as well as if you ever drive on the weekends. Good luck and be safe.